There he is, 40-year-old freestyle skateboarder and judging engineer from Poland, master of spooky ambient music and uncanny urban photography, Łukasz Ciszak.
Happy to be here. I'm really excited to be invited to your podcast. It's my first podcast in life. Yeah, we'll see where it will take us.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We chatted a little bit beforehand about the topics we want to discuss and how we maybe try to get to know you a little bit better. And in preparation for this interview, I made a deep dive into your music and into your photography. And I can't help but think there's something haunting you, or is living in Warsaw that grim?
Yeah, so you did a little bit of stockings. That's I appreciate it. Something haunting me, but if you've looked close enough at the photographs, you must have seen I was many places, and it was haunting me everywhere where I went. Right?
Yeah, like you have like a Bandcamp link in your profile. And I checked that out and typed your name on Spotify and came to your music. And music is like a big part of skateboarding culture as well as like art in general. And but seeing your ambient music, like, do you consider it like spooky ambient music? Because that's the first impression that I got with all like the distortion and like swelling of different music and a little tingling here and there.
I never intended it to make it spooky.
Okay.
It's not all ambient, but I guess the ambient parts, I consider it a music that's easy to fall asleep to.
Okay.
But I don't guarantee the quality of your dreams afterwards. No.
That's yeah, because if people haven't listened yet, they really should, because it's really I flicked through my phone and put your music on Spotify, and man, like I've even see the video you did at the big shopping mall, like in 2012, I guess. It's near like
I already forgot about it.
Yeah, and when you have like stuff from your latest single you have on Spotify, man, I really like. I've listened to it on my office, like at work, and then once it was all done, I was like slowly turning around, like checking if anybody is there. Like, do you often get like, certainly you have a band as well and do more like stuff with rhythm and everything. But yeah, that's the first impression I got from your music, especially.
That's interesting. I've heard these opinions.
Okay.
It's like it's ambient, but it's kind of, like you said, it's drony. But again, I never intended to make anyone scared or worried.
What are your musical? I'm not that big into ambient music, but the usually name came up to me. Like I had like, do you play video games?
Yes, yeah.
Silent Hill came up, like Akira Yamaoka is the one who's doing like all these ambient noisy things that are spooky. This name came to my mind, or like stuff like Tool, when you have like all the notes repeating after each other and like like you said, a droning sound. So I wonder, what are your like influences from other bands or single artists?
Yeah, it was an interesting thing you said, but I think I played Silent Hill like, I don't know, back in the 90s.
Yeah, well, it was actually good, right?
It was the only one time I played it. I got many bands or artists that I like. As you can see, I got a Tokotronic shirt.
Oh, cool, yeah. Tokotronic is more like
one of my
poppy,
favorite bands.
Right? Yeah.
The other one that I liked a lot is Einstürzende Neubauten. I've seen them 3 times already. I was planning to see them last year, but then it was rescheduled to this year.
Okay.
And it was rescheduled to the next year.
Because of COVID or?
Yeah, that's right. And it was supposed to be super fun because my wife and I were planning to go to Utrecht to see them. So yeah, I'm still planning to go to Utrecht, probably see Kevin Wessels there.
That would be amazing, dude. And if you came to Utrecht, it's like a 2-hour drive for me. Just make sure to give us some time, and we'll figure something out to actually meet
That'd be
there. This
great.
would be really cool, dude. The other thing is, one side of your art portrait, I would say, is music, and the other is photography. And when I think of city photographies, it's usually like the big, like the capital icons everybody sees. And I think you are showing like a different aspect, especially in this. You live in Warsaw, right?
Yes.
You're like showing, like, I don't want to say like an ugly side of Warsaw, but basically there it's a portrait of a city that is unpolished, you know, like not, you are not hiding anything from your side, I guess.
Yeah, but it's not only about Warsaw. I think I do the same trick wherever I go. And I think the right term that you might want to, that maybe you hesitated to use, it's not ugly, but it's boring photography. So there were those 3 books called Boring Postcards
Okay.
about postcards from the 70s. And I think some of them were from the Germany, some were from the UK, some from the US. And then I said, okay, this is the type of pictures I want to make. It's like they were taken by a closed circuit TV, just trying to be objective, know people.
Yeah.
But you know, it's unless you are really a robot or something, it's not possible just not to make your objective photography subjective.
Oh, that's like a really cool take. And when are you like planning your city trips like deliberately? Are you like making a plan? Okay, I now do some like scouting or something like that, and then, or is it like a real spontaneous thing? Like you're walking past by like a parking lot or something that might catches your eye, or is it like really planned out?
It's the other option. So I think I trained my eye and brain just to spot those places, and I think involuntarily I trained my wife to spot those places because when we go for a walk, she said, "Okay, look there, a photo up for you."
What is it? Is it like, does it need to offer something unique, or does it need to not offer something unique, or does it need to be it's often a place of usage? I got from the impression of your photos, like parking lots or something like old buildings that have been used for a long time.
Places that could be anywhere in the world.
Oh, okay.
You know, those very generic places like parking lot. When you look at a parking lot, it's very difficult to tell where actually it was taken. Was it Poland? Was it was it Germany? Because all parking lots are kind of standardized. Yeah, same for shopping malls or same for like those street corners.
Yeah, is your intention something like showing how everything is like standardized, and is it like a value judgment you place on this, or is this something more you want to show? Okay, this is how people do stuff, like are organizing themselves and something along the lines.
I think I'm at the point where I'm looking at those places. Well, not trying to send a message or anything or show that something is ugly or that I'm showing a gritty underbelly of a big town. It's just, I find these places, I don't know, visually pleasing or looking for a good composition, a lot of empty space, not too crowded. It's more like, yeah, it's like an abstract art, but abstract ready-made art. Oh, that would be a good term.
That's the proper term, yeah, I guess. You're not doing scouting for like freestyle parking lots, right, where you can actually skate.
Yeah, when I started doing freestyle skating, I started doing spot finding.
Yeah.
And again, my wife got trained into it, judging the quality of the flat. And now she says, okay, this flat is not good. It's too coarse or too many holes or too slippery.
Are you skating? I mean, there are people that skate like, I mean, they're printing like cheese grater kind of things, like really rough and washed out asphalt or concrete or something. Do you look for like more smooth surface, like slippery almost, or does it need to have some proper grippy power?
Yeah, my favorite is kind of grippy concrete.
Okay.
Not too slippery. But I'm not very picky.
Okay. Yeah.
You can be very picky.
Does the city you live in like offer a big skate park or something? A lot of people are using like a big city outlet or something.
Yeah, there are quite a few skate parks, but as you may guess, skate parks are not really freestyle friendly because maybe not most of the time, but a lot of the huge portion of your time you're just standing in one place and throwing your board around when people are doing their lines or jumping on obstacles or
do you feel you are welcome as a freestyle skateboarder in skating parks?
That's a bigger topic. I thought we would get to it later.
Yeah, I'm kind of sorry. I'm kind of like unstructured and all over the place.
No, that's fine. We can cover it now. Yeah, that's an interesting question, I guess. Of freestyle, there's never been a freestyle scene in Poland.
Okay.
And people who do skateboarding, they mostly do street, but in skate parks. So I don't know where it came from, but there's this kind of impression that people who do freestyle can't do ollie or any ollie-based tricks.
Unfortunately, that's a real thing. Yeah.
So that's one thing they think, and for whatever reason, freestyle is called gay, and it's called gayboarding.
Oh, really? Like that's
interesting.
Some proper... Damn.
Well, it's not an insult for me. I don't need to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah.
But I guess if I was 13 and unsure what I really am, I could take this seriously. But I don't care. But I don't really go to skate parks. Well, I do when I go out skating with a friend of mine who uses all those obstacles. Mm-hmm. But when I'm skating alone, I don't go there. I don't need company when I learn new tricks. And I can't really focus when there are people, skating around me. Well, not that I feel eyes on my back and I can concentrate, but I'm worried that I can hit somebody with my board or that somebody can hit me. That's like throwing me off my guard. So I would go there like in the morning or in the evening where there are not a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I tend to go to places when I'm not in somebody else's way.
Are you I mean, sure, you said like, yeah, I'm bumping. I want to avoid bumping into each other and something. But do you actually prefer the solidarity, even if you have like this chance to skate with Raphael or some other dudes of the Polish scene that participated in the Eurofreestyle, or would you like? I mean, I'm skating mostly by myself when I do freestyle as well. But each time I have the opportunity to visit our dudes from the Again Freestyle School or other freestyler, it's always such a blast to skate with another. Are you more like, okay, if I have like a proper trick I want to work on, I really need to have my own separate way and really like dial it down?
Yeah, I like to do both, and it's funny. We don't live in one city. I mean, Rafał lives around 100 kilometers from Warsaw.
Yeah, Radom or something like.
Yeah, it's Radom. It's a smaller city south of Warsaw. Karol and Kuba live in Warsaw, but Kuba is still in school, so he's got different schedule, and he's living
Lucky
far
kid,
from
right?
me.
Can skate all day.
And Karol and I got proper jobs, so. I need to plan my skating sessions like 2 weeks in advance when I can go out. so it's not easy to like make a proper meetup. So I think we had 2 events so far in Warsaw where 4 of us could actually get together. And yeah, Karol skates alone, usually at night.
Yeah, he's posting a lot of
hidden parking garage. And Rafał skates in skate parks because he likes to have a big audience when he's doing his crazy
and
tricks.
you can tell by the Euro freestyle, you can really tell that he was like vibing off the whole atmosphere. And that's really
like it's boosting his ego and he's got all eyes on him.
I'm usually I really like the super fucking crowded places. I was like I already told you I was like in Frankfurt like in the weekend, and man, that's like super packed. It's like not only with skateboarders, with people like in general. It's a big fucking city, you know. So, but I really like not like people watching me in particular, but having stuff around me, because I get like really frustrated when I'm like practicing tricks, and just having people around me like sharing this experience, or like triumphing, like actually doing the tricks they can, and this always is like gives me like a positive energy, you know. So I like having people around as well, but you and the other Polish guys competing in the Euro freestyle, there hasn't been a Polish freestyle scene before, right? How did the whole thing even start?
Yeah, so I'm kind of new to this whole thing. I'll get to my origin story later.
Okay.
But I really started doing freestyle this year, and I was pretty sure that I was the only one.
Okay.
I've never seen anyone doing any freestyle, and you couldn't find freestyle gear in any of the skate shops. So I was, surprised. Tony Gale wrote me that, okay, there are some guys in other cities. What I've learned from, then I finally met Rafał and Karol and Kuba. And then I was told that, there was never a freestyle scene. So every once in a couple of years, there was one guy doing that. And he got injured, or he would find something else to do, and he would give up freestyling. So there were like, within the last 20 years, I think there were fewer than 10 people doing freestyle in Poland. Rafał has been doing this for 10 plus years, as far as I know.
Shows in his tricks. In his trick.
Karol was doing that even before Rafał, but then he gave up skateboarding for 10 years and came back to it last year. There's this guy who couldn't go to Euro freestyle, Tomek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen his stuff on Instagram. I think. Yeah.
So he's also one of the few. He did it. I think he started 7 or 8 years ago, but then he fell ill and he couldn't skate for 2 years. And last year when COVID struck, all of us came back to skateboarding. I mean, Tomek and Karol, for all different reasons. But now there are 5 or 6 people actively doing freestyle in Poland.
Yeah, they hit like a truck, dude. I've when the first like the registration for the Euro freestyle came in, and I was like watching the website, and they had some Polish names on it. And first, when I saw it first, I didn't think of it much, and then I talked to Burns and like, did you know that there are Polish people freestyling? And he was like, huh? Okay, let's check. And then, Christian told me about that you guys are coming. And we were really curious. I mean, we checked the profiles, not gonna lie, beforehand. But the first I've seen Karol or Raphael like standing on their skateboards and doing tricks. And I mean, how crazy is it the first time you are competing and actually, you place first and third and your nation as a whole. So that must be are you proud of the achievement the Polish team did, or like Polish nation as a whole?
I'm not a big fan of nation.
Okay.
Or the concept of a nation.
Yeah. Me
Yeah,
either,
but
but
they're my friends, so I'm proud of their achievements.
yeah. Really cool. I mean, they hit like a truck. Like, yeah, really cool
I
stuff.
think that's a good term in particular, Rafał. Yeah, I did skate with him, but when you go out skating, it's not like you're doing 200%. You're not giving 200% of yourself. He was doing a couple of tricks, then we had a chat, and he did it like 2 tricks more, and then again a chat, and then at the contest, I was just watching from the place where I was sitting above the flat area, and I was, oh my god, what's going on?
He took off
What is
all
this animal
the
doing,
brakes,
right?
no, like full gas, no stop, right?
Yeah.
You said you came to freestyle just recently. When was like the first time you get in contact, like not in particular with freestyle, but skateboarding as a whole?
Yeah, it was long before the war. So
Okay.
I started skateboarding when I was 15, so it was 1996. Before that, I was roller skating. Oh, sorry, rollerblading.
Yeah, people. I really noticed that there's actually a difference in like because some is considered like dancing and the other is like considered like park riding, right?
That's what I was doing. So it was a big thing back in the 90s, doing ledges and jumping off the stairs. But then there was just this one magazine in Poland about skate culture or street culture, and then I said, okay, there is skateboarding. This is what is cool, not this rollerblading thing.
Yeah,
So
did it like was it like immediately that you were like, damn, this is like proper sport, or what made you do the transition?
I don't know. I just felt it's way cooler than
Okay.
having those wheels on your feet. So I did that and again, I grew up in a small town, so there were 2 or 3 people doing skateboarding. I did that for 3 years, and then I decided, okay, I'm the only one left. Everybody gave up.
Yeah,
I felt I wasn't progressing, so that's one of the stupidest decisions of my life, to give up skateboarding at 19. And then last year, but I kept having those dreams that I'm doing frontside nose slide on a ledge.
Yeah. Like pop
And then
obstacles.
I felt really happy in those dreams, so I bought a skateboard last year. And I was like, hey, I think I can relearn the stuff.
Yeah.
I managed to relearn, but then I injured my foot.
Oh, damn.
I don't exactly know what happened, but I couldn't do any pop tricks. Like, it was very painful, so I started looking for tricks that actually don't require me to do any ollie or any pop. And then I found out that, okay, there's a lot of freestyle tricks that I could do, which are not very painful. Yeah, and that's how it started.
Yeah, usually, except when I tried, and they are really painful. Like actually turning your shin bones into dust. Yeah, but I mean, did you know like freestyle beforehand, or had you seen like videos, or how did you came in contact with freestyle skateboarding then?
Yeah, back in the 90s, I think that was everything fell under the umbrella of easy old school tricks.
Okay.
And and then I learned about freestyle, just looking for what can you do on your skateboard when you can't do an ollie.
Okay, like searching in Google, like basically this sentence.
So I think I first found it was either Tony Gale or Mike Osterman.
Yeah, and then what made you stick to it? Like, did you see? I mean, when I see the stuff Mike does or Tony does, I mean, besides their introduction skateboarding tricks, there's no way that I see this and well, maybe I can do like a back-to-back carousel or something.
No, I was mainly looking for footwork stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But like I said, no
you
jumping
came to the right people, right?
was possible. So
yeah,
and I thought, okay, probably I won't be doing any jumping off the stairs or doing kick flips over 3 decks anymore. But this is fun. This is what I can do. This is good for my balance.
Yeah. Are you into balancing? I honestly, I haven't seen you skate, which is like a real shame. Maybe you need to catch up on that.
Probably it would be more shame when you saw me skating.
No way, dude. Come on. Like, are you into like balancing tricks, or is like rail your thing, or is like proper footwork your thing?
I'm trying to do everything. So I think that's a good approach when you're starting, just to do diverse stuff. So I do a lot of footwork. I do a little bit of rail. I really, since I'm coming from the street background, I really do like doing rolling tricks. I'm not a big fan of standing in one place and doing those. First of all, I can do it, but even if I could do it, it wouldn't be my thing to just stand for 20 minutes in one place and do all those transfers from track to rail.
Yeah.
Casper.
I mean,
there's a reason skateboard has wheels.
yeah, there's really is a reason why skateboard has wheels, but there are people that kill it. Like, I'm sure, I don't know if you know him, like Joey Bleeps, that does like sick rail to rail to rail to rail stuff, or like Sean does like the most mind-blowing pogo stuff, like pogo shovels, or all these sidewinders. I mean, people sure push the limits on if you even need wheels or not. But I mean, that's also, I mean, the big thing why we are having this conversation in the first place is like the judging system. Do you feel like having like using all like stationary takes, or like having like using all the contest area is like the thing that's the most attractive in freestyle? Or is it more do you think that this I call it like specialized versions of freestyle has its place too?
So cool thing about freestyle, in street you just use one side of your board and you start all your tricks from the grip, and the idea is to just land back on the grip.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about freestyle is that you've got all those positions where you can start your tricks and positions where you can end your tricks. And you can do it rolling, you can do it stationary. So why not, do all of it?
Yeah, that's like the first thing when you get, I don't know if you're like talking to I talk a lot to like street skateboarders most of the times. So the first thing they usually saying, we can do like try out the pogo thing, and just seeing them like standing on like the tail, even if they have like a proper setup with like I've always have like a spare, I can throw them and tell them, hey, do it without damaging your whole thing. You can clearly tell they are like, it's the first time they are like balancing on something else than their four wheels, except for like maybe manual stuff. But yeah, this is like really the unique thing about freestyle. You get in touch with your skateboard from like all different aspects. Your wheels, you get to know your wheels when you do like coconut stuff, or like rail stuff, or like the whip stuff, or you get to know like the upper side of your deck when you're doing Caspers and 50-50s and something along the lines. Yeah, that's for sure is this unique aspect of freestyle.
Yeah, so that's the attractive part for me as well. Like, you use all of your all parts of your skateboard. It's just like,
and body as well, right?
All those senses and using just ones. It just seems like an awful waste of resources.
Yeah. What makes a trick hard in your opinion? Like, I mean, certainly there are aspects like hand-eye coordination or posture, or I don't know, even courage to do stuff. What is like?
For me, what's hard, I guess I'm not really good at coordination of my limbs. So that's one thing. The other thing is, on the surface, tricks don't look like they need a lot of muscle strength.
Yeah.
But they actually do. Like, when you're doing a whip, you really need to stand on your one foot on your wheel for a while. So yeah, you need those muscle strength just to keep you in one place, not trip in any direction. So this is the hard part for me: the coordination, the strength, and then the proper technique. So you can, especially when I learn new tricks, I know at the beginning I'm using incorrect technique, so it's like trying to force, and I managed to force a trick, but then things just fall into the right places, and then when I get the right technique, it's just turned out I was using too much strength. It's just easy. I was just doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So this is the most rewarding part of learning a new trick.
Yeah, I have the really the same thing with like pogos. The lower part of my chin is like, yeah, it's like hurting really bad. But once you figured out, okay, you don't need to like really super clamp hard on the board, and it's more about like being loose and limber and like doing like basic stuff. Yeah, I mean, you're basically paying with blood and pain for some of the tricks we are doing, like because you like hit like full force on like your small little feet or something like this, and yeah. But I think the proper technique takes a lot of time and like really practice, and mostly sometimes I see people like really rushing the whole process. It really needs time to like get the proper technique and have like the right balance, and timing also is a big thing. Like when does stuff change feet position and something along the lines, and that just needs time, right?
Yeah, I need to be constantly reminded by a friend of mine. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon.
Yeah. Do you feel like I mean, I'm 33 years, and you are like 8 years older than me. Do you feel like being an older dude starting out freestyle is actually like a big hindrance in your possibilities, or is it like, okay, I need more time to recover, or maybe learning stuff takes a longer time? But do you think it's like a hindrance, or is like the experience, you know, like patience is like a big thing? Do you think that's proper upside?
That's what I wanted to say. That.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, sorry, I interrupted you. But yeah, I think that you actually hit the spot. So freestyle requires patience, and when you are starting out as a teenager, you are everything but patient. Right? You just want to rush. You just want to, do the snow slide on this huge ledge. And yeah, certain things require a certain amount of patience and a lot of hard work and perseverance. And I don't think I would do it when I could do it when I was younger. I think I would get bored or get frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I was, more leaner or stronger or had a better sense of balance. But yeah, I'm not the oldest one.
Yeah, for sure. There are some amazing. I mean, just like coming off from the Euro freestyle. I mean, Günther Mikulus is like what 56 or something along the lines.
58, yeah.
58 even, yeah, and still murdering in the pro category, right? So yeah, I think the right mindset is more important than like, I mean, sure, it's skateboarding is like physically demanding, but yeah, I think like the proper mindset and the right technique is really king in those situations, right?
Yeah, the other thing is just this quote unquote maturity, like you know your limits.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that I won't be able to do many tricks like carousel. I don't think I will ever.
That attitude, dude.
I'm not sure I will attempt learning. Who knows?
Okay.
But I know it's not coming anytime soon. So I've got this list of tricks that's my plan for this year and my plan for next year.
Yeah.
Carousel is not on any of those lists.
No, but me neither, dude. But I love seeing them. But maybe one day we can both try them. Maybe when we meet up with Kevin, we can just do it for fun, see who it ends.
Yeah, but well, you need to have the proper like prerequisites mastered before you move to tougher stuff.
Yes, definitely. I've seen so many kids like starting off with a tray flip before doing like a fucking tail stop on a bank or something like that. You really need your basics in check before you can do anything remotely closely as you see from like the pro dudes, or like even the amateur categories have some mean tricks that takes a lot of effort and like years and years of practice and to get them as clean as they do.
I really like the story that Tony Gale once, well, not once, he said it multiple times, that a friend of his only did stationary tricks, and when they actually went out skating to a skate park, couldn't ride his skateboard. He was just like a Bambi on ice.
Yeah, and he's doing like most clips I see from him now is like full blast, like all tempo, like he's going like a fucking cannonball, no brakes whatsoever, right? So having to knowing now that he started off like this is like that's what we are talking about, right? It just needs time, and you need to be able to. I mean, being able to actually go out and skate now with the winter coming up is also a big part, right? Do you have something where you can skate in the winters?
Yeah, I'm kind of counting on global warming.
Oh, that's grim.
Last year, I think I can remember I was still skating on January the 1st at 0 degrees.
Yeah.
And then the snow came, so it was more difficult. There are 2 indoor skate parks in Warsaw. They are not very close to my place, but my wife promised she would drive me there once a week.
She really has your back, right?
Yeah, she does. I mean, she was there with me in Brandenburg, and I wasn't there for her, so you have no idea how many times I had to apologize.
Yeah, that's really a thing. When you go out with, it's like going to the movies. I mean, you're going to a movie together, but basically both of you are just sitting there and enjoying the movie by yourself, usually. So when you go out like freestyle, it takes a really long time for the people around you. Even if you are with other skateboarding dudes, it's really a lonely endeavor sometimes. And when you are with other people, it really sometimes puts their dedication to a how do you say it, to the limit or to the test, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Come to think about the Eurofreestyle, how did you even get? I mean, certainly you are judging the Eurofreestyle now, but when did the idea came to you? Okay, I can actually come to Brandenburg and see the event.
Yeah, I think when I was looking for my first freestyle setup, I obviously got it from Christian Heise.
Right, dude.
So I was going through his website and I saw, okay, there is this freestyle event. Okay, and I said, okay, I'm going there next year. I will see people doing this in real life, not on YouTube.
And how I mean, when you first time saw the event, and then later being like the head judge of the whole thing, how did this come together?
This is crazy, crazy stuff. That was never my plan. I only wanted to see people doing tricks.
How did it come about? I mean, we were like at the Eurofreestyle itself. There's like a place called the Riders Lounge where like all the competitors sit, and we had like a huge meeting where you told the story about how you came about changing this judging system, and if you don't mind, you could maybe tell it once again for people listening.
So I think it started a bit earlier. So I'm new to everything.
Yeah.
When you are new to when you're coming to a party where everybody knows one another, it kind of I don't know if it's a good term, but you don't notice things, right? They just get used to see what they've seen, and I was new, so everything was new or surprising to me, and I was trying to figure out how things work.
Same here.
So one of the things I was trying to figure out when I was watching the World Roundup, okay, how does this actually work? Like how do they put people into into those categories? How do they judge the performance? So I did this analysis of the scores, trying to see. Yeah, I had a couple of research questions like, are there people who are in the rookie who are actually better than people in the amateurs? Are women, should they be placed in their own ghetto small category, or should they be competing with everybody else? It's not a contact sport. You don't do confrontation. Why shouldn't they be skating with everybody else, and so on, so on? So I did this analysis of scores, which I tongue-in-cheek put into the F forum, which spawned a discussion, and then I had a chat with Tony Gale, and he actually explained to me how judging works, and it was a big surprise to me how the judging works. I kind of thought, you've got those like things that you can actually look at, like those scorecards, but then he said, no, this is not how it works.
Do you mind telling how things up to that point?
In World Roundup, as far as I know, and feel free to, everybody's free to correct me if I'm mistaken. It's just judges. There are a couple of judges. They are giving their subjective number of points from 0 to 100, and that's it, right? You don't need to justify what actually you were looking at. Why did you give one guy 50 and the other 55? And looking from the perspective of someone who wants to actually learn or improve or see where they are and where they want to get or what they should be working on, this type of feedback, well, it's kind of not very informative, right?
Especially for a data scientist, right?
Yeah, you don't know if you didn't get 60 but 50 points because your footwork was sloppy, or maybe your balance is not correct, or maybe hundreds of things. So I kind of thought maybe there should be a better way to do it. I think Tony showed me how they do it in Japan, but it was super complicated.
Yes, for maybe I could chime in. I've looked at the Japanese system as well, and they have basically like 3 separate judges each. One deciding just trick by trick, single tricks, like how hard this is, like basically also scored. And then there are people like looking at like skating harmony, like how do they skate to music, or like
how did they choose the music, right? Did they make a good choice for choosing the music for their skating style?
Yeah. Do you think this needs to be something addressed in a proper? I mean, they all are proper systems, just like on a new, transparent and informative way. Like there needs to be considered how well everything harmonizes.
Yeah, I think transparency in judging, I think it's super important. When it's not clear how the points are given out, some people may get frustrated. Some people can be punched in the ego.
Yeah.
And saying, okay, I'm just better, but I wasn't judging fairly because I don't really know what was judged, so maybe they don't like me because I'm too good or whatever. But when there is a transparent way and people can be shown, okay, you could have gotten 100, but I don't know, you missed a couple of those tricks. And when you were doing, walk the dogs, you were not doing full 180 degrees.
Yeah, like an objective. I mean, it surely is a subjective thing, but some things like, if you like you said, like a 180 should basically be a 180. Like no matter if it's like an 180 revert and or like a ollie pop 180 or like.
But don't get me wrong. I don't think that everything can be quantified.
No, you can't. Skateboarding is way too complicated for that.
There are certain aspects that can be.
Yes.
Like the performance of tricks, or your consistency, or the timing of your tricks, or how cleanly you do it. There is this artistic part. So how well you thought out your run. Are tricks flowing smoothly one into another? Do you skate with confidence? You cannot easily quantify it and do it like in a repeatable way, but when you know what questions you are answering when you are judging somebody's run, it's kind of it's still subjective, but maybe less arbitrary.
Yeah, less arbitrary is a good word. I mean, I've watched like before the Olympics started, like the Olympic skateboarding categories like park and street. I was like, I was not that I was like shocked, but I was really surprised that they have like, I don't know, 16 pages worth of information of how your uniform, like t-shirts and stuff, should look like, and they have like one set of one sheet basically that says in regards to the points. Yeah, it's all skateboarding common sense, you know. Like they really rely on the people judging. I mean, not that they that it's not a thing. I mean, people that are skateboarding for a long time know if a trick is done well, basically without any wobbling, or if a 360 flip is harder to do than a basic kick flip. But yeah, I was really like super surprised, and it's not uncommon for other sports as well. Like I've looked across all like the different categories, like whether it's like floor exercise or tower diving, like water tower diving or something along. This is like really common that people are like giving like a common sense scoring, like one to a 100 basically, or 0 to 10 or whatever. So yeah.
I was told a story that figure skating actually was like this until 2000 or something, where the judges were just giving out subjective scores.
Yeah.
It's 10 because I say so. And then there was this one figure skater who had a really shitty performance on one run, but they gave him a lot of points because he's overall a good skater. It's just not his day.
Yeah.
And then they changed the rules. They actually started doing it in a more systematic and fair way.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's I mean, that's all for the better for the sports, right? I mean, sure, skateboarding in particular is not like, yeah, some people say it's an art form. I mean, there are a lot of things people say about skateboarding that are like on the more cheesy or more, let's call it spiritual way. But I think competitive skateboarding, like in a competitive setting, like the Eurofreestyle or the World Roundup, I mean, there really needs to be rules, like objective rules, and to judge whether someone is doing good or bad, right? Basically.
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of competitive sports.
Yeah.
And I think I once told someone that skateboarding competitions are like yoga competitions. Don't make a lot of sense, but since we have to do it, since people have a need to compete,
yes,
let's make it transparent. Let's make it informative.
Yeah, that's really a perspective that's often overlooked, right? Because people that are competing actually need to have a system that reflects skateboarding and the tournament settings as a whole. It's not like, I mean, sure, how good someone flows. Some people are more like into hard tricks or bangers, like, I don't know, like rail to rail and carousel stuff. Or some people like more like the flow aspect, like some of the amateurs or the pros choose to do. And yeah, I think there really is a need, like from the community itself, to have a judging system. I think mostly the big discussion is, I mean, we saw in the Euro freestyle how different people approach freestyle as a whole. Like, I mean, you certainly have people that are doing like a lot of boneless stuff or have a heavy dose of street tricks they are showing. And what is your take on this overall? It's like freestyle, should it be considered like a closed system where you have like, okay, this is the footwork category, this is like the rail category, or should it be like more open to the individual to actually show what freestyling as a whole means to them.
Yeah. So I'm kind of radical.
Yeah, no
extremist here, and it's the ghost of Tony Gale speaking from me now. Yeah, but all jokes aside, I think freestyle is just a well-defined discipline with well-defined tricks. When you are doing it on your own, you can do whatever you wish. But when you're coming to a freestyle competition, you might want to consider doing freestyle tricks.
Yeah. I mean, it's a freestyle competition, and sometimes, the line is blurry between a flat ground competition and freestyle competition. I mean, it's also the sports has a history, like you said, right? I mean, it's not that people like got together and said, okay, we do something radically new here. It's just, I mean, people mastered like the whole aspect of freestyle skating like for a long time. I mean, when you see like old 80s or 80s 90s clips, or even like in the 70s basically, I mean, sure, they had like their transition from more gymnast approach, like with all the dancing and stuff, to the later more athletic, more like footwork oriented stuff. But it certainly has a history, and people did hard work to actually, like, how do you call it when you like take care of it for a long time in order for maintain. They actually maintained the sport as a whole. I mean, that people are coming now to freestyle. This wouldn't be a thing if everybody like people like Tony or other people in the community were like, well, we are done here. There's nothing to be gained here anymore. And then, so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a gatekeeping or anything. It's just let's not dilute it. Let's just keep it, maintain it. It died a couple of times, but it was still resurrected. It's kind of like, I find this kind of a similar to Hebrew language, when it was considered dead for many years and not used by anybody, and it was just revived, and now it's more popular than Yiddish, which was then commonly used. So yeah, I'm standing where other people are standing, saying freestyle is not anything goes. Yeah, and there are tricks that are freestyle tricks, and there are tricks that are really part of. It used to be freestyle, but now they are part of the old school or street tradition, and maybe they should be kept there. When you're coming to a freestyle contest and you are doing ollie over a gap, well, maybe you got to a wrong contest.
That's certainly a hot take. No, but yeah, I mean, this also could be argued from another side. Like, I mean, there are street skateboarding contests, right?
Why not go there? Do your
I mean,
frontside ollie over a gap?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, skate for me personally, I do a lot of like street influences, like no comply stuff, borderless stuff, and all that thing. But when I come up to the freestyle event and compete in a competitive setting, I'm not like, okay, no, I did this clean, my one anti-boneless clean, and it should be scored higher because, well, I'm joining another contest, and that's mostly focused on freestyle. So I think it's you said it before, like gatekeeping shouldn't be like a thing, but the line is like important, like
especially in competitions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't bring a rifle to an archery contest or knife to a gunfight.
Yeah. Unless you're like, you need to, right?
Yeah.
What is your take on the I mean, when you watch like the pro category, there are like people like having like the more full blast, go hard mode, and sometimes this includes a lot of bailing. And there are people like, for example, Günther, that has like a really set routine that like they trained over the years and are like super fucking like wake up in the middle of night consistent. Is this something you prefer, or is this do you prefer like more like the big flashy routine, I guess?
I really like the crazy style of Dan Weasel.
Yeah.
So you feel that this is something that gives him a lot of joy and a lot of pleasure, and he's putting all his heart into it.
I think the people are still able to, or especially the people that don't skate and just visit the event, are free to decide what they are enjoying most. And when it's like Dan Weasel going full blast, like doing his meat grinder and or Reese like hyping up people like crazy, I mean, they are free to choose what they are liking, right? It's just hard to decide whether this is something that needs to be reflected in the judging system as well, right?
Yeah, this is the part which is really difficult to quantify, but I think this is, when there are those, piano contests, I think they are looking at exactly the same thing. They are playing the pieces which were composed in 18th or 19th century. So what new can you bring to the table, right? So if you are playing it perfectly note by note, but there is no life, no spark in it, you don't go very high. If you are playing it with a lot of spark, but you are bailing, it's also the other part of the spectrum. But there's this fine point where you are perfecting, where you are performing the notes that were written, but still you can see that you're bringing part of yourself to the performance. And I guess that this is
it's like the Zen Buddhism, right? Like the middle part, like the perfect place is like in the middle of things, like where everything is perfectly balanced. So but piano itself has like, you have like a lot of like dynamics or like modes. I don't know like how they judge it in particular, but they have some leeway. And I feel like in freestyle there's also, sure, there are some things that spark like discussion about whether this belongs in freestyle or not. But I think especially the in the last Euro freestyle, there wasn't anything in particular I felt like, okay, they said like, okay, you are not welcome here, or this trick doesn't belong here. I feel like mostly people are like included, and I think like it's the system is working as intended, right?
Yeah, hope so.
Yeah. Looking back at the writers meeting, I can't help but think there's like were some like sighs going on, like, oh damn, like why does it have to change right now? How was your impression? You put your hard work into it and lots of like conceptual development. How did you feel when you announced the new system, or Christian did?
It was kind of unexpected, really. So I think when I was asked to be one of the judges, I didn't really know how it's going to work. And I came with a couple of ideas. I think I shared them with you. But then when I spoke to the other judges, and we said, okay, but you can't really do those rules unless you are a computer. So we had to simplify it.
Yeah. That's actually a thing, right?
Without trying to make it, too simple.
Yeah.
So we try to find something that's actually kind of moving into the objective direction, but still doable.
Yeah.
And if you come up with a very complex system that I originally came up with, you would need to do a lot of test runs. You need to train yourself and the judges so that you are thinking the same way.
Yeah, that's like muscle memory, just by watching, okay, this is like, I mean, I'm spitballing here, but this is like a trick 2 category, there's like trick 1 category, so it needs to be like trained. And that's, I think, like when you see your friends competing and you have like a basic idea, okay, is he like up his limit? Like I know when I see Burns or Kevin competing or Obi or whatever, I can see, okay, this is a trick that's like up his limit, or it's like actually over his limit. Like, but when you do this like across hundreds of people and hundreds of run, it needs to have like, I mean, you can't know basically everybody, so it needs to be like then not like standardized, but like needs to have like a proper setting, right?
Yeah, so one thing I had to keep reminding myself is that I'm not judging people, I'm judging just their performance on the day, and you can have a better day or you can have a worse day. So yeah, just looking at my friends, I saw them baiting tricks which they can do with closed eyes in the middle of night.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking, right? For me,
yeah, that was heartbreaking. And on the other hand, I saw them doing tricks they only learned the day before.
Yeah.
And they throw it into the run and they did it.
Yeah, some people are like gifted as well. Yeah, Kevin dropped out, like he didn't make day 2, but made day 2 because some people were like dropping out of the competition because people are like got hurt. Unfortunately, that's part of our sports. So and he was so devastated that he didn't make day 2, and he fucking made up 10 places on his run, and he really seized the opportunity. And this was like really like, man, that was really close to my heart seeing him compete. So for everyone watching, when you come to the Eurofreestyle, try to come with friends, and then you will see some amazing stuff happen, because the energy is really like there and picking up. Yeah, that's basically all my questions I had prepared. There are some couples I've left, but we had like 1 hour now.
We don't want to bore everybody to death, right?
No, I think you had some really like interesting takes on not like only your art thing, but skateboarding as a whole. So I really appreciate you coming here and taking your time to have this talk. You're more than welcome to join another time when stuff is progressing more with the judging system itself. I think it would be super interesting and super helpful for a lot of people that are preparing maybe next year for like more. I mean, there are coming more and more events in freestyle skateboarding, fortunately. And I think this is super interesting, and we are keeping a close eye on the Polish freestyle scene, because you have some real talent there.
And now Rafał has taken on some students, so
that's a big part, right? Like, actually, people need to go out and get in contact with each other, and then try to build something. That's what I said in the last podcast with Burns. Just on a quick note before we finish. If you are like into freestyle and see other people like having like only a slight interest in this, go up to him, have some courage, and like show your tricks. And I mean, sometimes you get like harsh comments, sometimes you get good feedback, but it's really worth it to try out and see if people are connecting with it, because the one thing freestyle needs is really like people getting firstly introduced to freestyle, and then get like a helping hand to get into the sport itself. So if you see this and try to reach out, and if it doesn't go well, then maybe brush it off if you can, or talk to other people on social media and share your experiences, and like keep a community and try to reach out to people.
Amen.
Łukasz, thank you for having
thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.